The Buffalo Sabres made shocking moves today by extending their star defenseman Rasmus Dahlin to a 7-year, huge contract extension, as well as a rookie makes the final roster. We'll get into all this coming up on this episode of Hattrick HQ, but before we get into that, we just want to say, if you're one of the thousands of people watching that aren't subscribed, make sure to go down below, hit that subscribe button, become a part of the Hattrick HQ community, because we're going to be here all season long, keeping you up to date on what's happening around the league. But with that said, let's get right into the first topic of the video today, and that is Levi ready to make the jump. And as we take a look at a quote here from GM Kevin Adams, he says, "We would not have put him in net last year when he came in at the end of the season if we didn't believe that. One, it was going to help us win hockey games, and two, it was going to ultimately be the best for him in his development and his career." They also say here, "I think what he showed is that a maturity that no stage is too big for him. He's prepared." They also go on to say here that a roommate of Curtis Joseph and Mike Richter said that Devon Levi has both qualities of being a great goaltender in this league. He's quick as any goalie, and he's also has that cerebral side. And Mark, I know me and you have been discussing this privately about Devon Levi. We are really excited for this guy. I think he's going to be such a great goaltender in this league.
Yeah, we seen last year for the Sabres. He came in at the end of the year. He was absolute just a brick wall for them. He was stellar. He's such a young goaltender with so much potential. And just seeing this guy make this jump so fast, it's just amazing for not only the league and the fans, but for Sabres management, fans, the teammates, all of them. Levi looks poised to have a great year. I think he's a guy that can honestly make the push to get them into the playoffs, especially in playoff contentions where they're going to fight for a spot if that's a wild card, maybe at the bottom of the East. But either way, this guy's poised for a great year. I think it's the future in net for Buffalo, and I think the season's going to be just a huge step for him. We're going to see this more complete goalie coming out and just make a name for himself.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you there. You see a lot with these young goaltenders. They kind of come up, they kind of have a bit of butterflies with their their first time seeing any NHL hockey. But this guy's different. I believe he meditates in between TV timeouts. I think this guy's different, and like they say here, he has that cerebral side. I really think he's going to be the future of Buffalo, and he's going to have such a great year this year. And I think I'm rooting for Buffalo to make the playoffs this year because I really like this roster. And we're going to get into our second topic here, which is huge, and that's Benson makes the cut. And obviously, Zach Benson had such a great preseason for the Buffalo Sabres. They say Benson finished his preseason just as strong as he started. In the second period against the Penguins, Benson got a net front pass from Jordan Greenway and finished the play with his fourth goal of the preseason. And they say they played on a line with Greenway and Middlestat. Another different look for him. He still got some power play time with the second group. And obviously, this guy's looked so good in this preseason. They also say the same qualities continue to stand out with Benson. He thinks the game at a high level, even against NHL vets. He's relentless on the forecheck, able to make plays at top speed and changes direction so well. He's managed to stick around all the way to the initial 23-man roster. We'll see how he handles the jump in intensity that the regular season will bring. And obviously, Mark, this guy kind of took us by surprise a bit here when its preseason started. I think right now he's tied with Bedard in preseason points, which is pretty crazy to say.
Yeah, he's going to be a huge piece for Buffalo as well. We're seeing this movement of Buffalo having these younger guys that they've drafted previously or just this year, making this impact and joining the team already. I think they're poised for a great year. I think Zach Benson's incredible. I know my cousin's a big Canucks fan. He really wanted the Canucks to take him. They passed on him, and Buffalo stole him at 13. I think this is going to be one of the steals in the lower ends of the first round. This kid looks poised for a good year. He could be in contentions for the Rookie of the Year. And like I said, this movement's just going to be incredible for Buffalo, not just for the development of these guys, but just ultimately helping them get back into the playoffs and making the push to win the Stanley Cup.
Yeah, this Buffalo roster looks so good right now, and just adding a guy like Zach Benson, who's coming into his first year in the league, playing probably in the top six, I would imagine. I think he'll have such a great season for Buffalo, and he'll be the decider on if Buffalo will make the playoffs, because if this guy has a standout year, I think that Buffalo could have a chance for hitting the playoffs, because obviously Tage Thompson is just in a league of his own right now. He's just such a big guy who kind of goes to the net with ease. And when you have a guy like Benson who has that speed and he can change direction, he can turn on the stop of a dime, I think this is just huge for the Buffalo Sabres.
Yeah, this is going to be a great combo. If they do end up running Tage and Benson, they're going to look incredible together. And it looks like they're building it where they have the goalie in Levi, they have their star defenseman, they're getting a star winger in Benson who looks like he's already taken this next jump, and they have their guy in Tage Thompson to run down the middle. So the team's really building every position, and then it's just a matter of other guys stepping up around them or just adding more veteran leadership or more just guys in the league that know how to win and just filling this team out, keeping these guys that are your main at each position and just pushing for the cup.
Yeah, definitely. And they do have some guys there like Middlestad and Tuck who can really shape Benson and Tage into be great players in this league. This is definitely a team that I'm going to be tuning in for this year because they're going to have such an exciting roster and there's going to be fun games to watch. But we're going to get into the next topic of the video here, and that is Dahlin signs a huge contract. Mark, and as we take a look here, Rasmus Dahlin was extended 8 years at 11 million AAV. And Mark, obviously, this is such a huge deal. I do really think he does deserve $11 million. I think he's a great defenseman, and over these next, well, I guess 9 years in Buffalo, he's just going to prove that he's one of the best defensemen in the league.
Yeah, so when I was kind of talking about you have these positions, you have Tage at center, you have Benson on the wing, you have a guy like Tuck, and you have all these guys. This was what I was talking about on defense. Rasmus Dahlin, in my opinion, is the franchise guy for the Buffalo Sabres. We've seen him taking this development role. He's just improving year after year. He's such a young guy, and just extending him, getting him locked up, and keeping him with this organization is huge. The cap's going to continue going up. We've seen the escrow is finally going to be paid off at the end of this year. You're going to see the cap just continuously rise and rise and rise throughout the seasons. So, what $11 million right now does look kind of big. You look at a guy like Drew Doughty that signed a contract like this, Erik Karlsson. This was a few years ago, but when the cap starts to rise and this starts to drop to a lower percentage of the cap, this is going to look like an absolute steal. As I said, this is a franchise guy for the Buffalo Sabres. He's by far their best defenseman, and overall, I think they're doing such a good job with this rebuild and pushing into the playoffs.
Yeah, I definitely think there's a Norris Trophy in the future for Rasmus Dahlin. I think this guy's one of the best defensemen in the league. By far, his shot is just phenomenal. He's good on the defensive end as well. I think this guy has such a bright future in front of him. But we did get a quote from him today saying that he loves the city, loves the team, and he loves everything. And he also goes on. They also go on to say here in this article that Dahlin joins forward Tage Thompson, Dylan Cousins, and defenseman Matthias Samuelsson as all who've signed 7-year contracts as a core member of the Buffalo Sabres. And obviously, Mark, when you have all these guys kind of signed now through the next 7 years, I think this is just huge. They kind of have their core there now. All they need to add is a few vets, and I think this team could be a playoff contender.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing with Buffalo. You're kind of seeing these guys lock in long term. You're getting them for a while, and it's just keeping this core together, building this core, and keeping the young guys here. Like you've seen Darlene said, he loves the city, he loves everything about it. That's the main thing. You need to make these guys happy. When these guys are happy, they're locked up long term. It's just going to help in the long run.
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely great that he loves where he's playing because we kind of seen that situation with Jack Eichel. Sorry to bring it up, Buffalo fans, where he didn't want to play there, but when you have a guy who wants to play there and wants to win a cup for your city, I think that's just huge. I think it's going to make him push to be a better defenseman, and if he gets any better, I just think he's going to be ridiculous because this guy's such a great defenseman right now. But we did also get a quote from Kyle Okposo saying he's so competitive. That's probably his best leadership quality. How competitive he is. He just wants to win all the time. He wants to be the best. He wants to be on the ice in every situation. He's been incredible. And obviously, Mark, when you have your team captain coming out and saying this about a young defender, I think this guy could be a future captain of the Buffalo Sabres.
Oh yeah, no, without a doubt. And you're seeing a lot of leadership throughout there too. Like I said, you have all these guys. You're having a couple veterans. A guy like Tuck, I could definitely see him being captain as well. But you're seeing this leadership come through, and like I said, it's just a matter of time before Buffalo makes this next step into making the playoffs.
Yeah, definitely. And we're all rooting for you here at Headtrick HQ, Buffalo fans, because these are going to be some fun games to watch this year. Obviously, maybe some Toronto fans might not be able to get into the building when they are playing Toronto, but they are going to be some great games to watch because I think Buffalo is on the come up now, and they're definitely going to be a fun team to watch. And this Atlantic Division is going to be wide open this season, so it's going to be really interesting to see what happens. The season's only a couple days away, so everybody's getting a bit excited now. But we're going to get into everybody's favorite topic here, which is comment of the day. And the comment of the day today goes to Ken. He says, "Give her, boys." Shout out to you, Ken. We appreciate the support. Obviously, me and Mark are both from Newfoundland. We kind of got that little kind of Irish accent, and I know a lot of people have been wondering why we talk like that, and it's just because we're from the East Coast. East Coast lifestyle, baby. Let's go. But if you enjoyed this video, make sure to go down below, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We're trying to hit 2,000 subscribers, so if you hit that subscribe button, we really appreciate it. And if you guys enjoyed the NHL, make sure to check out this video popping up on your screen right now. But I've been KC alongside my co-host Mark Pye. Keep your stick on the ice.